Okay, next up for us is Jeff Burton. He drives the number 31 Caterpillar Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing. He is currently 7th in our point standings. And Jeff, certainly been one of the big stories of this season has been really the resurgence of Richard Childress Racing. Right now, all three in the top 12, and have been up there most of the season. So maybe talk a little bit about, I'm sure you've had a chance to just think about how strong this organization has asserted itself in 2010.
Well, it's obviously been a good year for us. Kevin's capitalized, done a little better job than the other two teams. We've all run really well. So we're our goal. Hopefully we can get out of here this weekend and move ourselves into the chase and be able to go to Richmond and just go out there and race and have a good time. And we were in that position a couple years ago, and that race at Richmond was so much fun. I was hoping to be able to come here in that position, and we missed it by a little bit at Bristol. But nonetheless, it's been a good year for us, and hopefully we can we can leave here with that thing locked up and have a good race here. I mean, it's important for us to try to get back on our rhythm. We haven't run as well the last month as we did the prior, and so I think it's important for us to get back on a rhythm.
If you have a question for Jeff, raise your hand. I think Mike Embry, do you have one? Start with Mike and then go Kenny Bruce. Mike, raise your hand high there. Go ahead.
Jeff, there have been a number of
it's like the flower on the dining room table.
Thanks. There have been a number of good drivers over the years who've come close to the championship, maybe a number of different times, and haven't gotten there for whatever the reason. Ultimately, what is that reason? Do you guys just don't have the talent level to get the championship, or what's going on?
Man, it's early for that.
That's a good icebreaker.
It's a hell of an icebreaker. Well, I mean, you are what your record says you are, and I believe that there is a story behind your record. For me, I feel like there's been 4 years where I really had an honest shot, and each one of those years was different circumstances where we weren't able to capitalize. Certainly, I was involved in one of those years. I made some mistakes. I think it's different reasons. I don't. It's hard to look at a guy like Jimmy Johnson and not and say, well, he won 4 in a row because he's lucky. Certainly not the case. He's exceptionally talented with a talented group of people. So when you can have success, then certainly your talent and the group of people you're with has an impact on that as well. So, it's hard to put your finger on it unless there's specific races, and I think that's what it breaks down to is specifically what mistakes were made, specifically what happened. When I go back and look at my career to this point, I feel like I can pinpoint those things. And certainly, I mean, there's a reason that some quarterbacks win big games and other ones don't. And I'm still I haven't found a way to do that yet. It's been the biggest disappointment of my career, not to be able to win a championship yet. And it's the one thing that's out there looming that means a great deal to me to go try to get done. And it would be disappointing. It wouldn't ruin my life, but it would be disappointing for me to walk away from this without ever having won a championship.
All right, we'll go Kenny and then go here to Wolfgang. Go ahead, Kenny.
Kenny Bruce, SingDaily.com. Jeff, you and Clint and Kevin obviously shared a lot of information throughout the season and last year and get everything turned around. If all three of you guys are in the chase, how does that flow of information change? Does it change? Are you still going to be as open, even though you're going to be racing
Sure.
with those guys for the championship?
Luckily we have some experience at it. The 3 years that I've been in the chase at RCR, in 2 of those, all 3 of us were in it, and in 1 of those, it was Kevin and I. So our company, our drivers, our crew chiefs, we all have experience with that situation. And honestly, nothing changes. The reason we're in that situation is because of working together and sharing information and being open and upfront with each other, and that would have to continue. If it didn't continue, then in all honesty, whoever that didn't continue with would probably need to go work somewhere else. If we can't bring the same level of cooperation, willingness to work together when the chips are down, then that shows the quality of person that we're dealing with, and that person needs to go somewhere else. And that's, we don't have that problem. We really don't have that problem, and I'm not concerned about it in the least, which is why I can make that statement, because it's very clear to all our people that if we're going to go beat the Hendricks, if we're going to go beat the Gibbs, if we're going to go beat the Penske's, if we're going to go beat all those teams, we have to be a team to do that. Now, that's not to say that the 31 wants to be the team that brings the championship back to RCR in the worst way. I mean, we want that, but we're not going to do that by being destructive to the 29 and the 33. We're going to do that by trying to do a better job with the same information that they have. And any mindset other than that, I think, would be incorrect.
Let's go Wolfgang, David Newton, and Jeff Hood.
Wolfgang Munzer from Germany Rennsport Press Agency. I have a question concerning this race and the other races under daylight. How is your approach to a night race? Is it more enjoyable, more stressful, and how is the difference setup-wise in your car to a race under daylight?
Typically what happens at night is that the track gains more grip. Historically in NASCAR, when the track gained more grip, the cars tended to be tighter. They didn't turn as well. I can't really say that's the case today. As the speed elevates, with this car, a lot of times at night the car actually gets freer. So the grip level goes up, the speeds go up, you drive the car harder, but it does that for everybody. And honestly, the biggest impact is waiting around all day to race. I mean, I think the fans like the night racing. I think the fans are more enthusiastic at night racing. For the drivers, I just don't think it's that big of a deal, other than you wait around an additional 5-6 hours waiting to go do it.